On behalf of California and myself, I look forward to personally working with you on the delivery of pandas to California.
California Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis speaking with Chinese President Xi Jingping last night in San Francisco at a dinner for business leaders during the APEC conference. Kounalakis, a big player in bringing the conference to California. And joining us now in a Fox 11 exclusive from APEC is California's Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis. Good to see you.
Hello, Alex.
So let's start with the biggest, most important question of the week. Is California getting pandas?
You know, it was a surprise part of President Xi's speech last night to the U.S.-China Business Council. In the middle of his speech, of course, we were all listening with headphones and translation. It sounded to us like he was offering to send pandas to the San Diego Zoo. I know the governor chatted about it with him after, but I think it's a conversation that's happening, so we'll see where it goes.
Okay, that's obviously would be a big step. We just saw just recently the pandas were taken away from the National Zoo in Washington as sort of a sign of the tensions between China and the U.S., and now to have pandas coming back would be a good sign. So tell us a little bit more, besides the panda, about your interaction with President Xi and sort of your main message for him.
You know, Alex, I'm a former U.S. ambassador, so it's always, there's a lot of protocol that goes along with meeting a world leader. And it was on full display last night. I mean, there's a long line of people who went, took a picture, had a few words, and then continued. I welcomed him to California on behalf of all of us, the people of California. But the way that it felt, of course, is just this reminder that we have 800 miles of frontage on the Pacific Rim here in California. And in so many ways, there's kind of this shifting focus from that transatlantic relationship that's been so strong and is so central to our foreign policy, or all of our allies. So many of our allies are in Europe, now looking west. And that's, of course, right off the coast of California.
You know, there are a lot of people, though, who are not thrilled with this sort of welcome mat for President Xi. Even President Biden referred to Xi as a dictator. And there are folks that are critical of San Francisco essentially cleaning up homeless people for him, but not for residents. What do you say to those folks that are really frustrated by what China is doing and concerned about the treatment that California is giving him?
I have to say, I understand that argument. I see where they're coming from. But the last few years, the tensions between California and China, between the United States and China, have really ramped up. And when we look at how tensions can break open into violence, I think that most of the people who are here at APEC right now feel this sort of relaxing a little bit of tensions. But that does not mean, and President Biden was very clear about it, that does not mean that there aren't issues still that we disagree on and that we are going to have to try to work out.
And just to wrap things up, you were instrumental in bringing APEC to California and have had a lot of meetings over the past couple of days, not just with China, with world leaders from all over the place, from Canada, from Philippines, all over the place. What is this APEC conference tangibly accomplishing for the people of the state that maybe aren't there having these meetings behind the scenes? Well,
it's always important to remember this is President Biden's conference, and he's having it here in California. But for all of us, I think it's two. One, we get this glimpse into the way the United States government engages with countries around the world, where California has a disproportionate impact of all of that. But at the same time, the world gets to see us. And you go almost anywhere in the world, California is a brand. It means something to people. And what it means is this is a place where people come for their dreams, to become innovators, to find a better life for themselves and for their families. And what we also have on display here are workers' rights and human rights and LGBTQ rights and women's rights, all of that. So I hope that Californians do have a glimpse as to all of what's happening here and feel good about what California means to the world, but also get a sense of the engagement of the United States in the Pacific.
Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis, thanks so much, and congrats on a pretty big week.
Thank you so much, Elex.